Officer, there's a man stealing in this healer's house. Follow me.
Come in. I need you to come in and kill 2112.
Open the door and step aside.
Get him.
He was stealing from the healer.
I don't want to have a problem. Just push me.
Cleaner, you might want to be around here. There's gonna be a dead body.
Sanctuary.
Oh my god.
Out of my box.
With a title like Aneurism, you'd expect a horror show. And in some ways, that's exactly what this is. But once you get past the chaos and actually figure out what you're doing, it becomes kind of chill. Playing as a pro, you get access to basic jobs, a locker for your progress, a role-based economy that's actually decently balanced if the server doesn't crash first. But even just being a pro is pretty fun. Usually a lot of dark RP servers on Gmod, or even permission to a tool that everyone uses to raid bases. Now, as a pro, you can rent a building to have a shop and everything. All you need is the credits, pretty much. You can have a gun, but being scanned for contraband is something you can avoid if you hide your stuff in your apartment. How well that's going to go depends on the player. There's another role called dealer, and pro and dealer go a bit hand in hand, but the economy is made up of the cult and the cops. The cops have to keep order and not let the server rot, while the cult try to rot the server and then some. Now this economy and its back and forth would be engaging. However, as my last playthrough on a server, which was yesterday, majority of the times the server would reset due to the cult usually gains so much rot it crashes the server. This doesn't sound like a horrible thing, however when it crashes that means all the currency and amnesites you obtain go back to zero. It wipes everything. I know the devs are probably still working on this issue, but I've never gotten enough amnesites or currency that I couldn't make up in another 2 hours of consistent playing. With that said, if you don't like playing as a pro, you might just not enjoy this game that much. It takes a good amount of hours to gain enough amnesites to not risk losing them all when you change roles. Because of that, I usually try not change roles until I have about 16 or more amnesites to avoid just losing what I had from one death. I played cops enough to get a feel for it all, but sadly I haven't touched the cult clan. They added a new role for that clan recently called the Vomit Coffin. I fought that a few times. It's like a tank, like a big monster that the cult raises, and then they attack everyone, kill the whole server. It's fun having that tug of war. With that said, there is just one issue that is still there and very not noob friendly. When you're first learning the game and trying to make amnesites, a lot of people will steal your work, which then gains them amnesites for turning it in and not you. The devs have dealt with this in an update, so now you have 1 entire second to grab your work before anyone else can. Now that 1 second makes a difference, and this issue wouldn't matter much if you could just kill everyone who stole from you. But if you kill someone who stole from you, this puts you in the negative amnesite role. And being in that negative amnesite means next time you die, you will become the slave class and have to do a tedious, boring task of pushing a boulder after a long walk into a hole and doing it again until you gain positive amnesites. Just having 1 negative amnesite get you back to 0 would take you theoretically 45 minutes straight. Being honest, I got this once and I didn't join that server again once I learned that. It's a great system to make sure people don't just RDM or free kill whenever they get the chance. The stealing will always be an issue, it seems like, since the game indirectly encourages that type of interaction, and I've done it a few times as well in game. Because if someone doesn't know, then it's easy to take advantage of and get some free amnesites. Now all of this sounds like a big negative when you're starting out, and even enough to make someone not want to play the game, which is true. I met some people that stopped after they had a few bad experiences, but I would still rather play this than the current dark RP servers in Gary's mod in a heartbeat. Gmod doesn't really run that good due to how every server has outdated, unoptimized mods, one on top of another, and also you need to have Counter-Strike Source installed to even play it correctly, quote. And you're waiting half an hour to even begin playing a Gmod server that you just want to try out. There is Rust. That is still the successor to Gmod's Dark RP, but this game really understood the soft roleplay aspect of Gmod and said, let's get more of that, but building cops and robbers to anyone that wants more on top of that. And I couldn't recommend this game more if you're a fan of Gmod or Rust. There's a lot going on here. And if you need help, then there's some good tutorials, or just ask anyone. You can ask anyone else playing the prole role. And they'll, for the most part, help you when they can, because I have, with a lot of people. There will be a poll on the channel for the next game for me to review. The poll closes about 24 hours after it's up, and I try to upload once a week, even with my work schedule going on. If you would like to take priority on a game for me to cover, then please subscribe to Patreon or Ko-Fi, and I will contact you from there. I'll see you all soon again.